And now we're live.
Let me pull up Audacity then.
All right. Anybody else got any porn pet peeves?
I hate prolapse. Like that's just not a thing I see.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, there's a difference between pet peeve and thing you're just not into. Like,
I mean, jumping right into it with both feet. Good Lord.
There's
I'm not
pet
going
peeve,
to discuss
and then
that.
There's like medical concern.
I mean, yeah, I've seen some things, guys. Right. Yeah.
Jesse's dying.
I mean, Jesse, what's your opinion on gape gloves?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What is
I was
that?
choking to death.
Gape gloves.
oh, you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm not into that stuff. I don't want to see the inside of like a butthole.
All right. But what about the gloves?
Oh,
I like a woman in gloves.
I mean, gloves are fine.
Grippy gloves that,
Yeah.
that help you spread your butt to gape your butthole.
Like, there's some really good handy movies. So,
Oh, God. The gape gloves, they always look like those like dishwashing gloves.
Game
just-
1.
Oh, man. Yes, everyone Google everything we're talking about.
All right.
Preferably on your public library's computer.
Yeah. Use a VPN, a public private, or a virtual public network. Just seriously, let people look at your computer screen while you're searching for these things.
Virtual public network.
Yeah. Wide open, baby.
Literally, the first thing that comes up is gape gloves exist.
All right.
There's another podcaster I listen to where he keeps on joking. He's like, I'm trying to get it to where like my advertisements, all the promo codes are gape gloves, and it turns out you can't get that done.
I mean, if you know the right people.
Right.
Anyone out there?
I mean,
knows
he's got a good
anyone
name.
in the gape glove industry. We
you
can
guys
get
listen-
sponsored.
You guys ever listen to John Gabris? He's a pretty funny dude. And he's got, with a last name like Gabris, it lends itself well to having your own brand of gape gloves.
Oh man, can we get Game That Tune merch with our logo on gape gloves?
Gape that tune.
I mean, really, we would just need to get like our logo on a pair of vinyl gloves.
That's the goal, right, guys? For us to be popular enough for Wood Rocket to make a really terrible parody.
Oh, no.
Oh god, yes.
I don't want to
and,
see.
and I call April O'Neil playing me.
What? No.
Y'all weren't naming people, so fuck.
It seems like it would imply that we're all having sex with each other. Anyway, Johnny, I think we should start
Well,
the show.
aren't we?
You
All
know,
right.
I'll
Who's-
take
no,
this
we
to the Discord.
Who's ready for
If
the
we're,
countdown?
if we're doing the Wood Rocket version of Game That Tune, we're having sex with all of our weird jokes that we make throughout the show. We're not having
Oh my
sex with
god.
each other.
Johnny
Yeah.
has to fuck George Lucas.
Bingo, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
April O'Neil as George Lucas holding a microwave.
Oh.
No, like, like,
Johnny's dressed as the microwave.
I was gonna say Giovanna Michaels is the microwave, but I'll all right.
Oh, Jesus. Good start.
Okay, here we go.
Solid.
Okay. No.
You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Aw, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's ya boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey.
Man, fellas, it is going to be a fantastic night here on Game That Tune. We got a great show coming up for you guys. If you're just joining us, don't understand what's going on here, what we're going to do is listen to some video game tunes. We've each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off. We're going to have a lot of fun. Whoever scores the most points gets to pick a theme for the next episode and play some bonus tunes. And tonight's theme, as chosen by me as the winner of last week's episode, I think we got a good one, guys. The 1980s. Let me say that very clearly as I said it last week when we picked the theme. The 1980s. It can be a game that's from the 1980s. It can be a game that is set in the 80s. It could be a game that reminds you, just has that vibe, has that 80s feel to it. You know, if you can make it about the 80s, it could be on tonight's show. What if
the game cost $1,980?
Now, see, that's impressive, man. I would also, if you can show me a receipt for a used game for $19.80, with tax, then I would accept that as, it would essentially open this up into a free play. That would be pretty good. Like, it really depends on where you're getting your games, what the tax rate is in your state and county. But yeah, if you show me a Wii game that has nothing to do with the 80s, and yeah, you got it for 1980, how can I not accept? I've made my theme very clear. If it's in the 1980s, then you're in business, Haas. And as king of the show currently, I think you could pull anything you want at this point. But that's beside the point. Jesse's not flexing that king muscle too hard.
Yet.
King muscle. That's a phrase for the lexicon. But yeah, so we got a great show coming up, man. We got 5 great games. We got a great fan request, and I think we're gonna have a blast, man. So Johnny, do we jump back in the time machine and hit it back to the 1980s, man? Do you got your DeLorean out?
I always have my DeLorean out, but
whip your DeLorean out, Johnny.
Let's get that baby to 88 miles per hour.
Yeah, man. I want to see your serious shit.
Game 1.
Thanks, man. Oh man, guys. So this game was negatively received by critics due to several flaws with the graphics, including the main character wearing a pink outfit, as well as the enemies, with the exception of the title character, and the gameplay having nothing to do with the movie. All right. How you guys feeling?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Decent.
Also fine. Let's see some answers here. Oh, man. Wow. David and Jesse both say Friday the 13th for the NES. John Regan says Commando. Everybody's wrong.
Oh, wow.
Playing the sound yet, or should I reveal the game first?
Oh,
I don't remember the order. However, I'm going to give John Regan half a point for recognizing that this was me being very on brand and guessing Commando. This is Predator for the NES.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And this game, it's dog shit. It's so bad, guys. Have you guys ever fuck around with this Predator?
Not this one, no.
The
No.
NES game? No.
the
Yeah,
real life
no.
Predator, yes.
Right. Okay. I don't want to not talk about the game. However, Johnny, as the resident fucked up movie guy, have you ever seen Predator?
No.
What?
God.
Oh, okay.
son.
So is
We
our
have
is
oh.
our commentary is going to be just us showing Johnny important
I
movies?
think it's pretty much going to be making up for Johnny having not seen any decent like 80s, 90s action movie. Like, holy shit. Like, we got to show Johnny like Die Hard and Predator and Demolition Man. Like, you know, this is fucking wild, guys. So yeah, man, look forward to that on our movie commentaries. But man, so Johnny won't know at all why
I
this
ain't got
is fucked
time
up.
to bleed.
Yeah, Johnny ain't got time to bleed or watch good movies. No, this shit, man, it's crazy. What was the thing, Johnny? I feel like you picked it. Oh, it was the Batman Returns thing, where the movie starts or the game starts like halfway through the movie's action. This takes it even further. So, Predator, for those who have not seen it, John Regan, takes place, it's a group of elite commandos. They're in like Central America. They're going to do like a mission, and it kind of takes a swerve. They do this fucked up action movie mission and liberate a village, quote unquote. They kill a bunch of fucking brown people and then take a woman with them. And then as they're making their way back to their helicopter, they get attacked by a fucking rat-ass alien. And the rat-ass alien kills everybody one by one until only Schwarzenegger's left and has to face off against the alien. It's fucking awesome. It's one of the greatest action movies of all time. This game takes place after all of Arnold Schwarzenegger's team members have been killed. It starts... In the opening cutscene, it explains that they do a heroic mission and then all get killed by a mysterious creature. And so only Major Schaefer is left to fight against this mysterious creature. That's where the game begins. Do I have your attention, David?
No, I'm just sitting there. It's like, okay, an NES game based on Predator. It's like you have a team of guys, each have their own abilities. You go through and you're fighting the Predator. It's like, oh yeah, everybody except Schwarzenegger is killed. It's like, so what the fuck is this game? You're just Schwarzenegger in a jungle?
It's just a Schwarzenegger platform game. It's like a shitty Ninja Gaiden with a commando skin on it. You're playing as Schwarzenegger in a pink suit for some reason, because it's instead of making him a jungle commando, he's a gymnast. I honestly don't understand why they it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. Why would you choose pink? Of all the colors available to color this man's clothes, pink. I don't know. Just saying. Maybe some olive drab. I would even take blue. What any color that Guile wears in Street Fighter would be acceptable. But yeah, and so you're going through these platforming stages, and at first, your only weapon is your motherfucking fists. You have to punch everything, and then you start picking up more weapons. And like I said, it's kind of like a shitty Ninja Gaiden. You pick up weapons, and it replaces your other weapon. And it's not like Contra, where you can maybe swap between two weapons. No, you get one weapon in this thing, and that it's just the last one you picked up. So at first you got your fists, and then you can pick up a machine gun. You can pick up a grenade. You can pick up a laser rifle, which is not accurate to the movie Predator. And but it always just swaps out, so that's what you're stuck with. So sometimes you need that machine gun, for the rapid fire, and you don't have it, and you kind of fucked over. It's wild to me. This movie or this game takes place, approximately starting 2/3 of the way through the action of the movie. Again, you're only one guy. This game has 30 stages.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
30 fucking. Oh man.
30 goddamn stages. It's clearly
much.
They had to make it hard so you would have to rent it more than once kind of situation. It's 30 shitty platforming stages as Pink Arnold Schwarzenegger with one weapon per level. And then they have these little stages that break up the normal platforming stages. They have big levels where it says big mode 1, so you do 5 regular levels and then you get a big level, and you're playing as a big sprite of Arnold Schwarzenegger in a weird auto scrolling thing. And you get to fight a big sprite of the Predator. Kind of cool, but not really. It's awful. It's glitchy. The sprite pop in is just wild. It's the game looks fucking impossible to play. And so the 30 stages, besides the big modes, they have fuck all to do with the movie Predator. You are moving through a jungle area, and then you're in a Metroid blue and gray cave. There's fortresses, and they're populated with fucking other aliens, amoebas and shit, radioactive scorpions. It's okay, hold on. What game, what did you lose the license to that you decide to call this game Predator? What the fuck is this? It's wild.
I'm just trying to think, because going into a big mode stage where you're a large sprite of Schwarzenegger going up against a large sprite of Predator, that seems like an awesome end of game boss fight. But if you do that every 5 stages, I admit it's been a while since I've seen Predator, but I feel like one of them dies. Exactly how do you do that multiple times in this game?
And you encounter predators outside of the big stages. There are predator enemies at the end of certain regular stages, and they're about as annoying as the most annoying Ninja Gaiden enemies. You have to hit them a number of times, and they bounce and move in weird ways, and they do a bunch of flips.
It's a bunch of shitty predators and one good predator.
Exactly, just like the movie. Predator brought 30 scrub ass predators to Earth.
The jobbers.
Yeah, it's about 30 jobber predators. He's waiting at the end, or he's waiting every 5th stage to also get killed. Like, it's such a wild swing and a miss to make this a Predator game. Like, I really don't understand how they could have fucked this up worse. Like, seriously, like, Predator as a... it's tough to adapt Predator, the movie, and stay fully true to the movie. But, like, some like Ikari Warriors type shit would be fine. Like a, kind of vertical, horizontal scrolling shooter where you're walking around a jungle and facing off against tough enemies. Maybe you're facing off against a few of the commandos from that village you just fucked up. I don't know. Like, and then eventually you have to, like, your guys start getting picked off, maybe by an invisible enemy or some shit, because the Predator can turn invisible. Like, there's ways to make this game kind of cool on the NES. Obviously, it could be made much cooler now. Like, I picture if they were to make this now, they got to just pull from the Friday the 13th new game mold.
That's what the new Predator game is like.
Is there a new Predator game?
I think so. Shit!
That's a really good idea. I thought I came up with it. Because, asymmetrical multiplayer fucking Predator game where one guy is the Predator and gets to go around as like a super-powered invisible alien while picking off an elite squad of mercenaries, including like an HD Carl Weathers. I'm in! All the way in! But, NES Pink Schwarzenegger platforming against shitty Predators... I'm not so in. And this is the kind of shit we had to deal with in the 80s. Because you never knew if a game was going to just suck complete ass or not. You had to go rent that thing, and it's like, oh, man, what happened?
I'm sorry, can I just take a second and go back, like, as we're talking about how to make this game more like the movie and better and everything. So you start off, you play as one of the commandos. Every 5 levels, you fight a Predator, and then you keep repeating this. But this happens after all of the commandos but Schwarzenegger has been killed. Couldn't you just have, like, every 5 stages you play a new member of the squad so that you end up fighting the Predator and losing, and then eventually you take Schwarzenegger and then beat the boss?
That would be so much cooler, honestly, David. That is almost a way to make this dumb fucking game work. I mean, I could even almost accept ridiculous, idiotic platforming elements that have nothing to do with the movie Predator if you got to play as Carl Weathers and fucking Bill Duke and the big Native American guy and motherfucking Jesse Ventura with his chain gun. If you had like different stages in which you could play as different characters with their different strengths, and eventually you fight a Predator and you've cleared the stage, and then the Predator shanks your ass. That's how it goes. I think that would be a fucking fantastic game.
Hell yeah.
It was just like, as you were describing it, it's like, it picks up after everyone else has been killed. And then you fight the Predator and then do 5 more stages and fight the Predator again.
Fight another Predator.
This is adding up.
It's so fucking bad, man. Oh, God. Because, in the movie, even when it's just Schwarzenegger versus the Predator, it doesn't go on for very long. He covers himself in mud, he yells real loud, and they fucking kill each other. That's just how it goes. It's not like there's some long ordeal of a movie. It's, the Predator isn't the Revenant. Fucking Schwarzenegger gets the job done. That shit just happens. So, it's pretty fucking wild how shitty this game is. But again, this is developed by Pack-In Video and Acclaim. You had to watch out for shit like this. And obviously, as kids, you didn't know to fucking watch out for the shit. You saw Schwarzenegger on the box, and you're like, yeah, give me that. And then you take it home, it's like, oh, wait, wow. I'm, 5, 6 years old, and I can recognize this is dog shit. This game sucks. And not just because it's hard, because it's bad. There are games where you would re-rent them because they're hard and you want the satisfaction of completing them. This wasn't one of them. This was, oh no, they've, made a severe miscalculation here.
And there are those games that are hard and you rent them once and say, wow, never touching this again.
Yeah, the modern equivalent of that is you download a game, it's too hard, and it's that's just getting, I'm deleting the data for that. So long, Cuphead. It's been real.
It's been a fun 20 minutes.
But yeah, man, I would love to see a Predator, game that really gets it right. Because like it's a cool formula. The movie is fucking amazing, and it's insane how stupidly like put together this game is. And I feel like it's proven greatly by Schwarzenegger wearing a pink outfit. I mean, seriously, how the fuck? Like, just Johnny, I know you're a game programmer. How hard is it to change the color of a character once they're already like pretty much like ready to ship the game? Like, can't you just like unscrew that cartridge a little bit and like I don't know. Change a little node in there to be a different thing, it makes the character not pink anymore and makes him look more like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
How
John,
hard is it to change the color of a character in a game that's been released for 33 years?
Yes, that's actually a good question.
So the answer is no, John. When it's almost ready to go, it's very easy to change it. And the answer, and then for Dave's question, it's actually probably pretty easy. I'm sure there's a ROM hack out there for it.
I would love to see if someone could ROM hack this and make it actually resemble the movie Predator. Like, that would be fascinating. It's probably a huge undertaking because of how fucked up this fucking game is.
New Patreon goal. We make Johnny remake
Johnny ROM hacks Predator after watching Predator one time.
No. I remake Predator after still having not seen Predator.
No. You have to at least see part of it. You have to have some idea what the thing is, because clearly Pack-In Video got like one sketch, and they were just like, "Yeah, okay, fuck it, we got it." Oh, because I don't want to drag on too long, but yeah, the final boss, it's you're not Predator. You're not in the big stage. You're in small normal mode, and it's a flying Predator head. And you have to like, it's a big sprite of the Predator's head, and you have to shoot it a bunch.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Exactly, but then the mask comes off, and the jaws open up, and you have to shoot that a bunch. Like, it's so fucking dumb.
I wish to go back to my earlier comment. What?
let me just be the first to say, what? It's this game. I love Predator. Man. That we're locking that in for a movie commentary at some point in the future. Fucking A, Johnny, you really it's I'm learning about just like the miseducation of John Regan. The longer we do this show, it's just like, what has he been watching all these years? Good Lord. I
like that it took you 250 episodes to say, like, man, what movies was he been watching?
I keep expecting him to have seen one of the movies we bring up, and it just keeps not happening. It's baffling. I wonder if there's any depth like to which Johnny's lack of movie knowledge will not sink, and I don't think there is. I think it's an infinite abyss that we have to explore.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm the Marianas Trench of having not seen movies.
Exactly. You're dark and unpleasant, and you haven't seen any fucking
new Twitter bio.
Yeah. But now, Johnny, much like the Marianas Trench, the pressure's on, motherfucker. We're going to make you watch some good movies. And in the meantime, we're going to say fuck Predator on the NES, and we're going to move on to Game 2.
Game 2.
right, guys. So this 80s inspired game interestingly opens up with a fourth wall breaking introduction explaining how when the developers were kids, they spent countless hours in the 80s watching TV cop shows and loved watching good guys kicking bad guys' asses. And ends with saying, like, you know, we know it's not real, but we enjoyed watching it, so don't take the game too seriously. And this was in response to some pretty bad reviews the game got for its use of casual sexism, casual racism, etc. All right, you guys have some answers for me?
Johnny, do I ever?
I have a wrong answer.
Or do you have a right answer, David? It's John.
No, I have a wrong answer.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. So John says Hunter, which isn't correct. David says, sorry to read it, something Rampage? City Rampage?
Retro City Rampage.
Retro City Rampage, which is incorrect. And Jesse says Beat Cop, which is correct. This is
Retro City Rampage would have been pretty on brand for you too, but this seems okay. Right.
Yeah, Retro City Rampage is probably the better game, and now that we're talking about it, I wish I had gone with that and not Beat Cop. I chose Beat Cop primarily for the soundtrack because this soundtrack is sweet. I'm a fan of that big 80s.
Awesome.
Yeah, that big 80s, big synth, vibe. Like, Outrun style. Like, I love that sound so much. It's so
That's
good.
a good vibe.
And the game, I think, it has some interesting elements to it. It's like a point and click sort of time management game where you're trying to balance being a cop and being a corrupt cop in New York in the 80s in Brooklyn. And there's some pretty, it's like a balancing kind of game, trying to balance your time. You've got to take care of writing tickets and making money and paying child support. But I think they drew a little too much from those 80s cop shows that they loved, because they get real casual with, like doing some name calling against different ethnicities, like against Irish and Italian people, things like that, right?
Whoa. Okay. Just against Irish and Italian people?
Irish, Italian, Polish people, pretty much any, like, not waspy kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just check. Yeah, you said that for your trivia. I'm like, Johnny, what the fuck did you pick? Like, I was suddenly very concerned.
Although when you say it's like, yeah, they have these, terms against, Irish and Italian and Polish, like, yes, that's bad, but they're all white, right? Like, they only have terms against white people, right?
That seems to be what he's saying.
Right. I don't think at any point they drop
thank God.
an N-bomb,
Oh my God.
It doesn't get there, but it's still like, it's not great, right?
It's not great to drop the WAP.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know. That song was pretty good.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like, we all call Irish people leprechauns from time to time.
We do?
But, like, it's strange to make a game that confirms our hatred. Like, it's very odd.
It does.
Actually, now that I think about it, Johnny, aren't you Irish, Polish, and part Italian? Like, is that why you're so offended by this game?
It's a fucking mess.
I mean, you were 2/3 right. It's Irish, Polish, and French. But mostly Polish and Irish. Those are the way bigger two than the French part.
So is that why, like, you're so upset at this game? Like, wait a minute, they're attacking me.
Yeah. I am offended, and I never get to be offended. So
I've been waiting to be offended.
Finally, my time has come.
Oh yeah, here it comes. I find it odd, that choice to put things like that in the game. But then I got to think about it. You're playing as one of the most reprehensible human beings in the history of mankind, a police officer. So, in that context, it kind of makes sense for you to be as awful as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's New York in the 80s, which was not a great place, right? New York in the 80s was pretty scary, pretty rough.
Don't put that on the city, John. Talking about the cops now.
New York City cops in the 80s were not great people.
See, exactly. Everything shitty you have to say about the city, say it about the cops.
Yeah.
I saw fucking American Gangster, man. They were in on all of it.
I was going to say, based on movies, New York in the 80s was fucking dope.
That's the other thing, man. Maybe.
There were, like, ninjas everywhere. Like, it was the shit.
And ghosts and, like, I'm trying to think of other New York 80s movies.
No, see, that's the thing. See, like you're talking about ninjas everywhere and everything's all post-apocalyptic and all that. That was just, they just didn't want to build a set. They just went to New York and just used what was already there.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, maybe we should film this in Toronto. No, that place is really fucking clean. We should film in the real New York. Oh, God. You don't want to do that. On location. Location shoot in this city? I don't know, man. But no, I was looking at the website for this game. There are things that sound kind of cool. Like, it's got a non-linear story with multiple endings. But then it also says it's the essence of 80s cop shows, which I'm only barely still on board with because it was like a different time. Yeah. And I'm like, I guess 80s cop shows, the cops weren't all fucked up. But then the third thing they say in the features, the humor your mom wouldn't approve. And the blurb they put on there, this is literally the developer's website. Be sarcastic, be gloom, be whatever you want. There are thousands of things in this world you can laugh at, and even more you shouldn't. But who cares? It's a jungle out there, baby, and sometimes you just need something to release the stress. That's a problem to me. Like saying, like, we made a game and we don't give a fuck who it rubs the wrong way. I'm like, that's not really a vibe I'm getting on board with these days, man. Fuck y'all.
I mean, I could understand that. However, the fact that we made a game, then if it offends you, we're not really bothered. And our game's about cops. Like, ooh, right. You might want to take a step back.
Just about the only place I'm going to accept that statement is on the fucking website for a South Park game, because we've all known long enough. We fucking get it. But, no, this indie cop game, no, maybe don't do a fucking nihilistic, like, laugh at everyone, Watchmen fucking cop game. Like, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe I'm just, let me be the first to say, don't.
The idea of a Watchmen cop game does interest me, though. Like,
now you're talking.
Like
now you get to play as Rorschach or the comedian?
No, you play as a cop, and you're constantly dealing with all your arrests getting like the Watchmen keep interrupting you.
God, does anyone remember when they made a Watchmen game and it was basically like a beat 'em up starring Night Owl and Rorschach, and you were like going around the alleys beating up thugs? Like,
that's a great idea, right, David? They got the concept of that comic completely in the game. Right?
I mean, they got the set dressing right, but like the concept, no, they kind of missed the mark.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Anyway, Johnny, so it's not any of these things we're describing. I mean, it might be a little fucked up, but it's not a Watchmen beat 'em up, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's so
dope soundtrack. That's the main thing.
I mean, that's a good takeaway, honestly. Like, they nailed that vibe. Yeah. I like the pixelness of it. I like the fucking dope soundtrack. I like the 80s vibe. I don't approve of the nihilistic cop vibe. That's kind of fucked at this point.
Like, yeah. And yeah, I'm a little over that attitude of being like, oh, everyone's dumb, right? And like, we should just laugh at everything. And it's like, no, come on, like, don't be that guy.
Or the guy that's like, fucking the cops should be able to do whatever they want. If only people weren't standing in the way of, cops, they could do their jobs. Yeah, I love the the last couple of years, the revelations. Like, there's a reason why everybody loves those Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Like, he's just a cop that doesn't answer to anybody. I'm like, fuck, you might have just ruined my enjoyment of the Nolan Batman movies. Like, oh no,
might have.
Yeah, it's just like someone snatches a purse and he breaks their leg. Like, oh fuck, I can't enjoy that anymore.
No, like, that guy everybody deserves due process. Like,
I'm a man. Yeah. Speaking my language, Johnny. I'm a big fan of this due process. It's not in the First Amendment though, so I don't know what it is.
All bats are bad.
If it's not the First or Second Amendment, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I didn't read the rest.
I stopped at guns.
Yeah, exactly. I can say what I want and wield a gun. I don't give a fuck about the rest of those amendments. Fun. Man, Johnny, I bet you didn't see this game taking this turn.
No, I kind of did, honestly. Like,
okay, then, thanks a lot, Sean. Really what the vibe I wanted. We're talking about the 80s, a time in which we were all willing to pull the wool over our own eyes about how fucked up the cops were. But no, you had to bring up the cops in 2020 when we can't keep pulling the wool over our eyes, John. It's it's a different time, baby.
Yeah.
How could you bring up like things aren't so great and innocent about the 1980s? Like, what's your problem, man?
As David established earlier, it was dope. We were laughing at everybody, baby. We didn't give a fuck who we offended.
Yes, famously, when I was 3 years old, I didn't give a fuck who I offended.
David,
my nihilistic sarcasm.
You were a born comedian.
That stand-up album that David released in UFC was on fire.
Yeah.
And so offensive.
3-year-old David was just Andrew Dice Clay.
No, 3-year-old David made Andrew Dice Clay look like Wayne Brady.
God, I can't believe David would cut an album. At like that age, it's awesome, man. Bicentennial Spanish slur, a bold title for your album at that time. But anyway, Jesus Christ, John, great soundtrack pick.
Yes, I'm excited to hear this on the radio. That's the main drive here.
Game 3.
All right, guys.
It's not my game. Okay.
The original game was released in 2005 in Japan and eventually was remade from the ground up for a planned WiiWare release. That release was delayed several times, and ultimately the North American release was canceled by its original planned publisher due to a decline in the WiiWare service. It was ultimately picked up by a new publisher and did reach the North American WiiWare service in May of 2012. How's everybody feeling?
Great.
Great.
Good,
Yeah.
but maybe confused.
I like that. While you guys are revealing your answers, I want to thank our requester this week. This one came to us via our Discord from someone whose name I'm having a hard time pronouncing. It might be Ekra. It's spelled Aekre. Johnny, how would you pronounce that?
Say it again. Akere.
Aekre.
Aekre. Akra.
Yeah. From Akra. Thank you very much for the fantastic request. Johnny says The Thing. Here's the thing. That's wrong. David and Jesse both say La Mulana. That's correct. Yes, La Mulana, which roughly translated from the Spanish translates to the Mulana.
I get
I
it
love
now.
that Disney
movie. Oh,
Yeah. This game is $30 on Disney Plus Premium. And man, what a worthwhile purchase it is. You heard that this game grossed nearly $270 million, right, guys?
I mean, that's what happens when you get The Rock in your game.
You should definitely believe everything that a movie studio tells you about how much their movies gross.
I always do.
Yeah. Oh, God, I miss movies. So anyway, La Mulana. What a game. This strikes me as the kind of thing that Johnny would have played by now, but he doesn't. He has that vacant look in his eyes. I'm not sure that he knows what this is.
I have no idea.
Fuck, John. This really seems like something you would have played by now. Oh, man. David or Jesse, do you ever get a chance to play La Mulana?
No, but I've heard it's fairly popular, actually.
Yeah. It's pretty cool from what I know of it.
I get confused between this and I think it's 1001 Spikes, which was also an indie game about like a rugged adventurer exploring ancient ruins in a cave that was released on WiiWare. Like,
word. For
some reason, there were like 3 or 4 of those games that all came out around the same time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I could see how those might blend together because it was. I loved reading that trivia, like, because this game I've heard of it, I know of it. It's like a cool Metroidvania kind of open-ended adventure type game, and hearing that it didn't come out like with its remake on WiiWare until 2012, I was like, wait a minute. So people obviously must have enjoyed that prior because if memory serves, the Wii U came out in 2012 and this didn't come out for that. I was looking at the wiki page and yeah, this came out on PC in Japan 2005, got patched and people got to play it internationally, shortly thereafter. And then they decided to do a nice remake for WiiWare. It went through a development hell trying to get it off the ground, get it into the WiiWare service until 2012. Fuck me, I forgot where I was going with that.
It looks kind of like Spelunky.
Yeah, it does look like Spelunky. That's the thing. But I just love that it came out on WiiWare the year that the Wii U launched. Like, wow, you really did fuck up the release of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys took too long. But yeah,
it was only a development process of 7 years.
Right,
that's not too bad.
But yeah, it looks like a pretty cool game, man. It's the kind of game that I would like. It goes without saying that I would like to play it. In all actuality, what I would like is enough time to sink my teeth into it, like, because apparently it's big, real big, and pretty cool. Like I'm not sure why it's called La Mulana. I'm sure that's the name of the ruins or some shit. And you're playing as basically you're playing as Indiana Jones for long story short. The guy's got a different name, obviously, but he's like a fedora wearing adventurer with a whip who's exploring ruins because he doesn't like his father and collecting treasure. I'm like, oh, I've heard of this character. I've heard story of this man. Yeah, I think I know who you mean. His name is Indiana Jones. What do you want us to get fucking sued? No, it's
Indianapolis Pete.
Exactly.
It's Henry Jr.
See, dude, that would have been a really great name for this game. Like, La Mulana is fine. It's intriguing. I don't know what it means, and I would like to, it's like, oh, okay, sure. Like, what's that? But no, if they just called this game Henry Jr. and they marketed it with a guy wearing a fedora and brandishing a whip, it's like, I get it. I see what you're going for there, and I'm all the way in. I'm a very surface level gamer.
I think it would be better if the game was retitled La Henry Jr.
La Henry Jr.
You really need to kind of clarify when you say guy with fedora and whip, because like I know what you're going for, but because you have to add on like the leather jacket and so on. Because what I'm imagining is like
he's
a 19-year-old.
I'm so glad he left.
The joke was so bad. He's like, you know what?
When does this happen?
Oh, am I back?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
that was the wildest swing ever. You made a joke so bad that you quit the show.
If that's not proof enough that you should not continue that bit.
No, you guys are laughing way harder at that than my actual joke, so I'm done.
Yeah, no, let that be a lesson to you, John. That was fucking wild.
What a botch.
We all laughed and then thought, oh, fuck, how is the show going to continue?
Right, that's the thing. We're all laughing as though we still had an audience, when in reality, it was just John's show at that point. Jesus Christ.
What's weird is I saw and heard all you guys freaking out about me leaving, but I was still here. I don't know what that was.
Oh, God, did Thanos get the Infinity Gauntlet? Johnny, were you snapped?
No, I still have it.
Yeah, good, okay. Jesse. God, you got to equip your belt and the Infinity Gauntlet, man. Yeah. So it's on the inventory. It's Jesse's magic belt. But yeah, where were we on La Mulana? Oh, right. It's not Indiana Jones. But, like, if this was an old school licensed Indiana Jones game, I think we all would have accepted it pretty well. Like, because the thing about this is like I said, it came out in Japan first, and what they were trying to do was emulate the MSX to the point where when you download this game was like a freeware game for PCs in 2005. You boot it up, the MSX logo comes up and says, it acts like you've booted an MSX, and then a Konami logo appears on the screen, but it says Kobami, not Konami.
Oh,
Kobama.
Yeah. Thanks, Kobami. Glad we all made that joke. Cut it. But yeah, like they tried to style this freeware PC game around being an MSX game as much as possible. And yeah, like, the game looks cool, sounds cool. I need to dig a little deeper into the soundtrack, because like all the tracks I was finding, there was like the same tracks repeated, but with like different chipsets, which is an even more ridiculous level of detail.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like 2 chipsets, and then there's the remake soundtrack. So it's like,
wow.
Fuck me, if I wanted to really be, for posterity's sake, I could upload 3 versions of this to GTT Radio. Like, I need to figure out the difference between these little files and whatnot. But like, the game's got a good vibe, man. It's it's vibing with me on the 80s because it's Indiana Jones, and then it's also vibing because it's got that old school. I mean, what is MSX? 8-ish bit? Like, it's it's a classic retro styled game. And they only brought it up to like kind of a 16-bit with maybe a little nicer background art style for the remake. So like, it's got that 80s vibe, man. Like, it's obviously way better than any 80s game would have been. We've already been over Predator here. So like, it's I'm just saying, like, it's not like this game isn't bullshit. Like, they use the style and use the constraints of this supposed console very well. And make something that's like a throwback. It's reminiscent of Shovel Knight. Like, it's a modern game done in a retro style and done very well. And I guess it's been successful enough to warrant a sequel. I like I said, it goes without saying that I would like to play this game, but more accurately, I need the time to play this game, because like, I think I saw online there's like, I don't know if this is like one of those endless games or what, but like, there's some long fucking like campaigns, and like there's like some kind of like hell dungeon in it. It's just, it's like, it sounds cool. I don't know that I would be able to get to the point of mastering this kind of thing. Like, it's super intriguing to me though. Like, and more so, honestly, John, it's baffling to me that this is you're not knowing what this is, because this seems like kind of shit you would have been telling me about back in like 2009. Like,
yeah, this does scream Johnny all over it, right? It's okay.
Seriously,
only came out in Japan initially. You had to go get an English patch. Like, okay, I'm on board here.
Yeah.
MSX style with that. The MSX, if I recall correctly, had like some FM synth capabilities, and that's kind of where you get that sound, from. And yeah, like big old, adventure. It reminds me a little bit of like a Cave Story smashed up with a Metroidvania kind of thing. In terms of like the look of it, it's this is, I'm all over this now that I know about it.
I think you should be, John. I think you owe us some streams. because quite frankly, you owe us like at least 11 or 12 years worth of streams. Like, seriously, you should have known about this by now. I was kind of counting on you to know about this for me taking it as the request. Like, it's like, oh yeah, okay. Like, I'm aware of that game and I'm aware that it's cool and it's got this, dope vibe. Johnny surely has played this game at least at some point in passing in his life. Like, to reveal now, no, you haven't. It's almost more shocking than all the movies you haven't seen, John. It's wild. But anyway, no, it's a dope game. Fun soundtrack with multiple chipsets. Awesome exploration, whip-based combat, treasure hunting. It's frankly, it might be the complete package for guys like us. Like, I don't want to go deep on a movie that this game isn't about, but like, David, you an Indiana Jones fan?
Who, me?
Who, you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, why did you not keep your Wii just to play La Mulana back when the Wii U came out? Like, why didn't you, port that Wii data over into that Wii U and then boot up that Wii eShop and get deep into La Mulana?
That's an excellent question. Unfortunately, at this time, I don't have an answer, but let me check and get back to you.
Yeah, exactly. Official answer. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I was anticipating just giving Johnny shit about this, but then I realized, like, I could give David plenty of shit about this. David's a wee boy.
Wait a minute, there are other people who should have played this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Johnny should have played this before any of us. And then we all should have played this and been like, damn, this game's fucking dope. And then Johnny would have been like,
I told you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I played that.
Johnny's right.
Right. Yeah, I played that shit as I was getting kicked out of UF. And we all would have been like, damn, son, that's all right. So, cool. Give us the rundown. But
yeah, nope, I was sitting in the registrar's office, and as they're explaining to me that I'm no longer welcome at the university, I was playing this game on a laptop.
On the one hand, I'm so sorry to hear, but on the other hand, that game does sound pretty fucking great.
Yeah, it's a great sounding game. And, more than that, I do love the idea that Johnny was told that he is no longer welcome at this university. Yeah.
Sir, you're making a scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm playing La Mulana. Of course I'm making a scene. Get out of my office. You are ejected from this campus. Oh, goodness. Good times, man. Great request. Thank you so much. Johnny, pronounce it again.
La Mulana.
No, the name of the requester.
Oh, Acri?
Yeah. Thanks, man. Great request. Fantastic choice. And let's just keep it going to the next game, my man.
Game 4.
So, the Japanese version of the main song was released as a single in 1987 on a special cassette that was available to only those who purchased a Nintendo Famicom version of Athena in Japanese retail stores. The cassette also included a special vocal version of the ending theme.
Athena's name is magic. Mystery is what you see.
Yeah!
Is the answer. Fighting fair to keep us free. She's just a little girl with power inside, burning bright. You better hide if you are bad. She'll catch you. She'll read your mind and find if you believe in right or wrong. Fire, fire, psycho soldier. Fire, fire, psycho soldier.
All right, let's get the hat truck.
Johnny, play it
ready.
again.
Yeah, it's short. It's great. What? Come
Oh,
on!
Johnny!
Wait, what did you say, David?
Athena's Wonderland?
No, it's fucking. They say it like 3 times in the song. It's Psycho
Johnny,
Soldier.
play it
No.
again!
Play the song again.
Seriously, Johnny, play the song
I'm
again.
in fucking charge here. Do I have to show you the belt?
Athena's name is magic. Mystery is what you see. Her crystal is the answer. Fighting fair to keep us free. She's just a little girl with power inside, burning bright. You better hide if you are bad. She'll catch you. She'll read your mind and find if you believe in right or wrong. Fire, fire, psycho soldier. Fire, fire, psycho soldier.
Oh, that's so good.
I just want to say I apologize because your trivia threw me off when you were talking about it was available, like this song was available to those who purchased the Famicom version of Athena in Japan, which was called Athena's Wonderland. So forgive me.
That's all right. I mean, it is Athena. Athena is the Psycho Soldier, which is weird because I didn't actually know that until I picked up the SNK 40th anniversary.
Wait,
And
Jesse, I think you need to say that I'm right so Johnny can play the sound.
oh yeah, John is right. Thank you, John. Do you still have those papers?
Yeah.
He should keep those things close
Yeah.
by.
You definitely need to. Thank you.
There he goes. So Athena's
man.
the Psycho Soldier.
Yes. So okay. So there's this game called Athena, the SNK makes, and you're like this girl, and for whatever reason, you get teleported in your underwear into this like place where these pig people are trying to kill you,
You don't need a reason.
and you do find armor, so you do get covered up a little bit. Which it's just weird how like at first she's wearing a dress, and then you're like, oh, Japan. But then she comes back, and it's Psycho Soldier, and the game is wildly different from Athena. Like it's like crazy, just colors and it's like a more of a futuristic setting, I believe, and it's cool because like she's been in a bunch of the King of Fighters games, and
Yeah, I was surprised that David didn't get this because this music is in Smash Ultimate, David.
Yes, I know, but it's the theme for Athena.
Psycho Soldier.
Yeah. All right.
It's fine.
Whatever.
It's fine, man. I'm not. No. I was. You don't suck. Johnny sucks. I was just surprised that he didn't get this.
Hey, wait.
It's.
Yeah. What do you mean I suck?
You heard him.
So,
hold on. Johnny needs a point of clarification. What do you mean I suck? Johnny, how many ways can I tell you that you suck? I love you, Johnny. I really don't want to make this like a Johnny abuse podcast. But
I mean, I think the easiest way to explain it is the game is Psycho Soldier starring Athena. John's guess was Psycho Soldier. My guess was the earlier Athena game. Your guess was question mark, what?
yeah.
You literally wrote out the word what.
Yeah, at least David had the character from the game on there.
Yeah. Now, honestly,
hit the
soundboard. Give David half a point.
Yeah, half a sound.
Congratulations, David.
As close as I could do to half a sound.
I just need to make sure we put David over Johnny.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah. So Psycho Soldier, again, a song that was featured in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so David has no excuse for not knowing it.
I mean, in my meager defense, there's like 50 goddamn SNK songs in that. Like, there's a lot of music you have to sort through.
They threw so much SNK music in on Terry. Like, oh, Terry's in? Here. Just take it all.
I love the fact that it's the King of Fighters stage, and you can play like Psycho Soldier, Metal Gear,
Metal Slug, yeah.
Metal Slug. Like, none of this has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though with SNK is like with King of Fighters, they would take a lot of characters from their other games and put them in King of Fighters. Like we have Athena.
That's true.
The Ikari Warriors were in it. I think someone from Metal Slug might have been in it at one time.
If I recall, they do add some of the Metal Slug characters, because I know one of the characters that I play in the King of Fighter game that I got is Whip, who is like, I believe, a Metal Slug character.
Yeah. So like they're just, if you're in SNK game, you're gonna be fighting Terry Bogard at some point.
Exactly. That muscular Pokemon trainer.
I do want to give like a ton of credit to SNK. Like, that's awesome. They were doing video game cinematic universes before anybody else. Like, everything came back to King of Fighters.
Yeah, honestly, they should be the ones making Smash Brothers. Like,
they did. It's called King of Fighters.
Yeah.
They should still be. Oh, they made another one recently? Okay, fine. Point made. So anyway, Jesse, Psycho Soldier.
So you're like a pop idol.
Initially not a King of Fighters entry. It was like a shoot 'em up, right?
Well, in '87, it's kind of like a platformer, but there is a lot of shooting. You like use psychic power because she's a psychic soldier, and you can turn into a phoenix at some point, which is crazy. Ooh. It's a real fucking weird game, and there's a lot of colors. Like if you were taking like mushrooms or something, you'd be having an experience.
I like it. That's probably the vibe they were going for. Japanese developers, they typically push kids towards psychotropic drugs.
And it's very late 80s anime too, so checks out.
Yeah, it does. I like these character designs. I'm looking at it now. It's like very cute girl, kind of cool guy, and their shadows appeared to be like made of fire. So, yep. And then in like the actual, thing I'm looking at, she's definitely riding a dragon. It's like a pink-haired girl in a schoolgirl uniform riding a dragon, breathing fire. So, this all checks out, Jesse.
Yeah,
it is indeed. This, awesome. This is indeed an 80s game from Japan.
It was made in '87, so
yeah, goodness. I'm super into that, man. I think this is, this has to be on the Switch. Like SNK, that's the other thing. Honestly, I'll give SNK some props. One, as a businessman, for recognizing the opportunity to make people pay for your fucking weird old arcade games. But two, as somebody that likes old arcade games, throwing all those SNK fucking arcade archive games onto the Switch eShop. It's like, okay, hold on. That's dope. Like,
it is on the Switch, by the way.
Yeah, and it's super cool, man. I mean, honestly, like I just love that they recognize that. Like, that shit was all on the Switch at launch. It's like, all right, a few million people are going to have this in their hands, and Breath of the Wild's all well and good, but they're going to need to have a little palate cleanse. They're going to need to play some Metal Slug at some point. We need to put some arcade perfect SNK ROMs on this thing for $5 to $8 a piece, because people are going to go for them. And yeah, I went for them, man. Like, that was a good ass idea. It's and then later on, the other companies got it, started bundling them. You got your Capcom beat 'em up bundles, your like Castlevania bundles, your Mega Man Legacy collections and whatnot. But it was like, okay, hold on, you're telling me there's some obscure ass SNK arcade games, arcade perfect, that I can just download and play on the Switch? Fuck yeah, I'm dropping money on that. Like, good job, SNK.
Easy sell.
Seriously, an easy sell. Like, give me an arcade game I've never heard of that looks cool and charge me, $5 to $8. Like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I got that.
I mean, you would have put that amount of quarters into that game if it was an actual arcade cabinet.
That's the beauty of it. And see, that's the kind of shit I've been having to wrap my mind around with, like, downloading games on, platforms. It's like, now hold on, how many Blockbuster rentals would this game be? Like, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to download something and try it out. And it's essentially the same as renting a game at Blockbuster. Like, oh, this game didn't work out, it wasn't for me, I'm only out $4 to $10. Like, no big deal. It's so yeah,
that's like, John, like, I wish that people were actually like that when it came to renting things from Blockbuster. I can't tell you how many times I had people try to get a refund on their fucking rentals.
Johnny, I also worked at Blockbuster.
Yeah, I know.
Don't talk to me about that shit. I worked at the Blockbuster with the expanded games section. I can't remember what the fuck they called that, but we had a big ass game section. So we also had to do video game trade-ins and have people come in there and try to return their games and like just say, oh, I only played this for a few hours, I want my money back. No, motherfucker, you don't get that money back.
Not how rentals work. That's that defeats the whole
point
of
at
rentals.
All. Like, oh, you only played the game for 2 hours? Guess what happens when you rent a movie for 2 hours? You watch the whole fucking movie and you bring it back, motherfucker. Like, that's not how this is gonna work. Oh, dude, we had so many people try that because I was working at that shit right at the Wii launch. And it's like, I need to bring back Red Steel. This game doesn't play right. Okay, well, what do you mean it doesn't play right? It's like, well, I don't know, man. It doesn't play right. It's like, is the game dog shit? Are you telling me that Red Steel is dog shit? Because I played this before you fucking even got your hands on it, and yeah, I know it sucks. So, like, are you trying to get a refund on Red Steel right now? Like, yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to do. Cool. No, you can't have it. Return it. Boom, get out of here. Like, God, I loved working at Blockbuster.
There was only once did I ever give somebody a refund for a rental, and it's when they came in with that copy of The Weatherman, that Nick Cage movie, and there's like, what? This was really weird. I was like, yeah, boop, boop.
It is weird. That's the point, motherfucker. I rented this movie and it made me feel some feelings. I wasn't so into that.
I want my money back. I hate feeling things.
See, my policy at Blockbuster was always try to talk the guy out of it before renting it. Like, go rent a better movie. Like, they bring up like whatever Van Damme or Steven Seagal movie was fresh on DVD at the time. It's like, sure you want to rent this? You don't want to go back there and get like I don't know Grindhouse or I don't know, like a better action movie than this? And they're like, what are you talking about, man? No, Van Damme's the shit. Everything he makes is good. Like, Okay, you're bought in. You fucking, you just said everything Van Damme makes is good. By all means, pay your money, take your fucking rental, go. You cannot bring this back. I heard you. That is a verbal contract. You can't possibly be upset when that movie inevitably sucks ass. Anyway, we were talking about Psycho Soldier. What happened?
Oh, you mentioned Reynolds.
Turns out Johnny and I both have blockbuster memories that somehow tangentially relate to Psycho Soldier. Jesse, any other fucking fantastic stories about Psycho Soldier besides the fact that the song is in Smash Brothers Ultimate, and David has no excuse not to know this.
The song is so good, though. Too.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Fire, Psycho Soldier, you motherfucker.
That's
Game 5.
right.
What?
So it gets better. The final stage of this game must be completed 4 times. One for each of the main characters. All right, who's thoroughly confused? I do have an additional piece of trivia if you think it would help.
No,
David, it's too late.
I got this.
Okay. So who's got those answers? So, John Harrington says piss. Sadly incorrect. Jesse says Ghostbusters, and Johnny says Ghostbusters 2. Jesse, there's a little bit of glare on yours. Is there anything else? Oh, I'm sorry. Jesse says Ghostbusters 2. That is correct. This is Ghostbusters 2 for the NES.
Hey, we don't accept board fingerings on this show, man. But fine, whatever.
There's the episode title.
I don't know. I kind of like the episode title. Yeah, Jesse makes a good point. He is king of the show. So
yeah, he can finger whatever he wants on the show.
Actually, I kind of want the episode title to be like John says piss.
So
yeah,
damn it, man.
Ghostbusters 2 for the NES. That classic game based on the 1989 film.
You skirt that 80s line, baby.
Well, the thing is, the game itself came out in 1990, but it is based off the 1989 film. And
I mean, it counts. It gives you that 80s vibe.
And I'll be honest, man. When I was a kid in the 80s, there was nothing in the world I wanted to be more than a fucking Ghostbuster. So,
same.
I mean, word.
When I was a kid in the 80s, I wanted to hook that NES Advantage joystick up to the Statue of Liberty and save the day.
Dude, you can actually do that in this game. So you don't get you can use an NES Advantage controller, but so the game it's actually okay. I'm so glad that we're closing the show with this after opening with Predator, because unlike Predator, this game is kind
of a perfectly faithful adaptation.
Kind of. I mean, so there are multiple stages in the game. You start off in the sewers where you see the river of slime. And then it switches to a driving stage where you're driving Ecto-1 through the city. And then you go through a courthouse, like the courthouse scene. And then you're driving through the park. And then you are actually controlling you go to the train tracks. There's the underground train tracks. And then you control the Statue of Liberty in kind of like a scrolling shooter. Like the Statue of Liberty is going around and you're shooting up from the torch at ghosts. And then you have to go through the museum 4 times because you have to go through as each of the Ghostbusters, and then you spray Vigo with slime and win. So it's actually it's a much more faithful adaptation than Predator on NES.
Nice.
But this game, it's not great. But considering it's a licensed movie tie-in for the NES, it's not bad. It's a side-scrolling game. You play as one of the Ghostbusters. You have the slime shooter. So instead of the proton pack, you're just shooting out bits of slime at ghosts and everything. You can lay traps to capture ghosts. You can't kick them or send them out. You just drop them where you are. So, if a ghost is coming at you, you kind of have to drop a trap and then haul ass back. And I don't know. I had this game. I played this game a lot. It does have some weird things, in order to set a trap, it's the start button. So you can't pause the game at all, which normally wouldn't be a problem, except the game doesn't really have a timer. Instead, there's this kind of weird small spider thing that chases after you. And if it catches up to you, it kills you. So it doesn't have a timer, but you can't just stand still. Otherwise, this weird little spider thing will catch up to you and kill you.
Just like the movie.
That sounds just like my nightmares. I've definitely had that happen to me in a dream before.
I definitely remember when I was a kid playing this and seeing it like come up at me and try to shoot it, but shooting it doesn't do anything. So it was like, oh fuck!
It's just a timer. What do you do? Oh God!
But no, like I said, it's not great, but based on other games at the time, it was pretty fun. I remember
I don't know, man. You know, Predator was pretty great.
You literally were just talking about how it was shittier Ninja Gaiden.
If I may drunkenly contradict myself from earlier, just to not let you have any fun, Predator was a flawless game, David, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a great game. You know, I remember that movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger wore pink. Much like in Ghostbusters 2, that river of goo, that was kind of pink. It all adds up, man. You know, that must have been it. Predator, they covered Arnold Schwarzenegger in that angry underground New York goo.
Yeah, I remember that scene very well. When they met up in New York City to fight the Predator.
Yeah.
Which, God, that
Predator made it all the way to New York City from Central America. You know, Central America, very, very classic. You know, it's a hotbed for predators.
I was thinking about like a 1980s New York City, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Predator fighting in the streets. You know, at one point, now, and keep in mind, I've never seen the movie, so I don't really know what hurts
God
the
damn
Predator.
it, John!
But I'm just imagining at one point Arnold Schwarzenegger driving a subway through the Predator or into the Predator. Like, that's what I want to see.
He stops being an elite paramilitary officer and starts driving a subway.
See, I'm just imagining like the perfect 80s action movie where, you know, the Predator is invading New York. Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in. The Ghostbusters team up. Fucking RoboCop arrives. And then, like, jumping out of a window is John McClane.
Dude, you know, count me all the way in. And then, you know, as they're all about to be defeated by the Predator, the DeLorean slams into that motherfucker. Yeah.
No. See, they're
Marty,
all about
your kids are fighting the Predator.
They're all
it's your
about
kids, Dutch. We gotta do something about your kids.
No, see, they're all about to defeat the Predator, and the Predator is like trying to call for backup when a time portal appears, and the T-800 comes out, and then you see Schwarzenegger from Predator look at the Terminator and just kind of cock his head.
See, yeah, okay, David, you know how to appeal to my sensibilities. Yeah, that sounds really good. Hasta la vista, you ugly motherfucker. God, yep, count me in. I'll just be over here in the corner, furiously masturbating to that fantastic idea.
We're watching.
So
okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so David, is Rick Moranis a playable character in this game?
Oh man, is Rick Moranis the Predator?
God.
Oh my God. Honey, we shrunk the Predator.
So bad. There's a weird
takes his mask off and it's Rick Moranis.
No, there's just like
But
a
like
weird
6'8" Rick
helmet.
Moranis.
There's like a weird distortion. The 3 laser points show up, and then you just hear this sound like, "Hey guys, I was trying to find you. Are you around?"
When will then be now? I need to kill this motherfucker.
Oh God, I would pay all the money I have to hear Rick Moranis say "motherfucker."
Doesn't seem like it's really in his lexicon, but yeah. Or the Predator asking if you're done combing the desert.
Or just to see Rick Moranis.
Predator, we ain't found shit.
Just to see Rick Moranis' face in CGI open up with those like 4 mandibles.
Oh,
Rick Morandibles? God, that's a good idea.
But to answer your question, you don't get to choose your Ghostbuster. Like in every stage, it comes up like Venkman or Spengler, and like that's the Ghostbuster. I mean, they're all basically the same sprite, except for one, which is colored slightly differently.
Egon.
Yeah.
I get it, David. Yeah, the Egon stages all suck ass.
Honestly, I don't remember what stage Egon is. I think he's the
assume
courthouse.
he's got to be like a hacking mini game or some shit.
I don't think they had hacking in 1989.
Like a sex with Annie Potts mini game.
I wish that was in the game.
I bet you do.
Oh my god.
Anyhow, John, I'm glad you're this trashed because
can that be the episode title?
Would have been terrible.
Nobody pay attention to me.
But yeah, it's like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia and I enjoyed the hell out of this game as a kid. I'm sure it doesn't hold up and I'm sure it's ridiculously hard. I remember a lot of the enemies, like they would drop from the top of the screen to the bottom, but in like crazy S curls. So you had to pause running across them at the right time, which was tricky, but it was a pretty good game. It has a cool soundtrack. It only has like 6 songs. And one of them is the Ghostbusters theme, so I absolutely couldn't use that.
Well, not. And one of them is like a funky chiptune version of Auld Lang Syne.
So yeah, there's the first song was the song when you're driving Ecto 1. The second song was Auld Lang Syne, which is the credits music because the movie ends on New Year's Eve. And the third song is, chiptune Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson. I think the other songs are the Ghostbusters theme and then like an 8-second menu loop. And that's pretty much the whole soundtrack.
I mean, yeah, it's classic jam. I
wanted to shout out the composer, but then I was like, the composer only really made like 2 songs.
Shout out to Ray Parker Jr. Oh, man.
Yeah, I would say calculating computer.
All right.
Calculating computer activated.
You hear that like balloons, the rubbing sound? Like
Scoring complete. This game's winner is Jesse Moore.
Hell yeah, motherfucker. Congratulations, sir. What a win this is for you tonight.
Indeed.
Yes.
The champ is
you
here.
are the king of the 80s style. You would it be king of chip style? I'm trying to figure out
that could work.
Yeah, you're just the master of the vibe scepter. You got that 80s vibe. And you're massaging yourself with it a little bit. And, you got a good little vibe going. It's good, man. It's good. Congratulations. What a win tonight on this fantastic 80s edition of Game That Tune. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't still be hosting the show. The point of what I'm trying to get at is, sir,
continues hosting.
Shut up, you.
What I'm trying to get at is, I love you, man. I love all you.
$5. Damn it, man. Yeah, guys, before we get to Justice Team, I just want to say, drinking tonight has been some good medicine. So, it's real good, man. But Jesse, congratulations on the win. Super dominant performance, as always, Mr. Exalted One. And you get the opportunity now to pick a theme for next week's episode.
Well, I have
in the future, I don't think this needs quite so much preamble. However, my drinking has affected my addiction.
Well, also, I have some things to say about that. First off, I want to do the show on Tuesday next week, so keep you guys on your toes,
Mr. Jesse.
So
what?
We're doing the show on Tuesday. Everyone,
Game That Tuesday?
Yep, Game That Tuesday.
Fuck, wait.
Gonna be
We
great.
could have been doing Game That Tuesday this whole time.
We tried to do it, and you were like, no.
Yeah,
I could have like changed the date of the show. I didn't know the king had these powers.
Yeah.
we pitched that change like 3 years ago.
And second, Johnny, you better find us a guest for next week or else.
Okay.
So this is for reals. And also, the theme, let's get to that. It's going to be games with wrestlers in them. So it doesn't have to be like a wrestling game, but a game that has a wrestler in it. Like, a lot of fighting games have like one of the characters is a wrestler. I think F-Zero has a wrestler that drives a car. There's wrestlers in a lot of games. I mean, the Spider-Man game, I think one of them has Bonesaw in it, and he's a wrestler. So,
Okay, yeah, you talking Super Bonesaw is Ready 3, the greatest game in the history of the NES.
I would play the fucking. How did they make an NES game based off a 2002 movie?
We all need to order that shirt, David. I sent you that image. That Super Bonesaw is Ready shirt is the fucking coolest image of all time. Anyway, wow, sir, Mr. Jesse, fantastic theme. Very specific to your tastes. To a much lesser extent, my taste. I kind of like this wrestling stuff. So I'm sure that in my research, I will discover that Triple H and Batista, Eddie Guerrero and China, they made a lot of games. So I'm sure I'm bound to come up with some really great 90s ass games for this theme. You want literal talent, professional wrestlers in games, right?
Well, they don't have to be like real wrestlers. Like Streets of Rage has like a boss character that looks kind of like the Ultimate Warrior and stuff.
Don't give Johnny any ideas.
Well, I think we've used all 3 of those. So
4?
All 4 of those, yes.
Definitely used all 4.
So, yeah, a lot of
wrestling. Wrestlers are the theme, not I'm tap dancing around the fact that maybe I have a game series that involves a wrestler that I'm a big fan of. Nobody touched that series. Johnny, I swear to God, fuck off. You don't touch my series.
You say that like Johnny has any idea what game series you're talking about.
Johnny definitely knows what series I'm talking about. He's a big fan.
Smash Brothers.
Exactly. There's a wrestler in that game, John, and if you touch Smash Brothers, I'm gonna slap the taste out your mouth. That's all I'm saying, man. Don't edit that shit out. That's just me cutting a promo, you motherfucker.
Have we used Ultimate with Incineroar?
Shut up, David. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay.
Shut your goddamn fucking mouth, David. Wow.
As long as you don't kick my teeth in.
Yeah, seriously, man. I swear. Wow, I got a hard out here in just a few minutes, so we got to get through this outro. Jesse, that is a fantastic theme. Wrestlers, I cannot imagine a better theme for this group of 4 men to discuss. Johnny and David, we've been pushing wrestling on them. There's definitely no chance that we need to bring in any outside sources to help with that theme. It's going to be a fantastic theme for next week's episode, and I can't wait. So, guys, it's going to be a lot of fun, and thank you all so much for listening. What a blast we've had tonight. Thank you, everybody, joining us live. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. We're in your podcast device on Tuesdays. Check out Game That Tune in your podcast device. Leave us a rating, a review, whatever it takes to make us climb that chart. I'm not saying Joe Rogan, we're coming for you, motherfucker, but we will also, if need be, host a presidential debate here on Game That Tune.
No.
No.
I want to know what Biden thinks about games with wrestlers. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we'll host a candidate, but
You're
only
too
that
drunk.
one candidate.
Okay, yeah, I might be a little fucking drunk. I might not be forming any memories of what's currently occurring. Point is, check out Game That Tune in podcast form. Tell your friends, listen and enjoy. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. We got a lot of fun stuff going on over there at Patreon. We got mixtapes. Jesse just posted a new mixtape. Jesse's mixtape takes place on a boat. That's right. We got boating themes. We got a fantastic end of summer theme, boat mixtape there on Patreon. We got GTT Gems. We caught up. That's right. We're up to date on GTT Gems, and we got a lot of fun stuff planned for the future on GTT Gems. Looking at video game music from 30, 20, and 10 years ago. We're having a blast. We got our movie commentaries. We got David's occasional mixtapes. We got Jesse's Covered Up series. You never know what you're going to get over there at patreon.com/GameThatTune. So we appreciate you guys supporting us there. Special thanks to our absurd fans. Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Chrono, Taylor Y, and Mork. Last but not least, Mork. Fantastic group of fellas supporting us over there at Patreon. So, tell your friends. Check out patreon.com/GameThatTune. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you to our requester tonight. John, how do you pronounce that again?
Acri?
Yeah, Acri. I'm going to get clarification on that because, me and this person, we're kindred spirits on video game music. They requested some La Mulana. I like to wear a fedora and whip people with every now and then. So, they get it. Yeah, exactly. I got the tapes, motherfucker. Do not release those. But yeah, great request. They sent us their request in our Discord. Join our Discord server. We love goofing off and chatting with you guys. Or you can send us your request, gamethattune@gmail.com. You can send us them to us on Twitter at gamethattune. Or individually, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm there at jgangsta187. You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan Jr.
And you can find the Exalted One, this week's winner, the August Absurdity King, the champion, the king of the show, Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
All right, I want to remind all our live viewers, stick with us. We're going to do a raid. I haven't decided what Twitch channel we're going to raid yet, but I promise it'll be more entertaining than some of those shitty-ass Twitch channels we've been raiding recently.
I sent you a message.
Oh, okay. Word. Then, okay, let me do a clean break. And yes, so that's King Jesse, you've got the tunes for the bonus segment of the show. Hold on, let me do another version of that. All right, King Jesse, you got the bonus tunes tonight. So what are we going home with?
The Japanese version of Psycho Soldier.
God damn, David, you really should know this song. It's in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's the Japanese version of Psycho Soldier. Peace out, everybody. Predator is copyright 1987 Pack-In Video. Beat Cop is copyright 2009. Beat Cop is copyright 2019 11-Bit Studios. La Mulana is copyright 2012-2005 Nigoro. Psycho Soldier is copyright 1987 SNK Corporation. Ghostbusters 2 is copyright 1990 Imagineering and Activision.
Her name is Mia Yim. She's a wrestler. But
Yes.
it's under It's Me SYB.
It's me, SYB, Mia Yim on Twitch. Enjoy that raid, people.